This is such an excellent question because we often hear why we should plant certain crops together, but we never really get a good explanation for why they shouldn't go together. So let's talk about it. Now, there are several reasons why certain crops shouldn't be placed together, and cucumbers and tomatoes are one that are commonly mentioned as combative, but they're not combative for a reason that you can't overcome. Now, the reason why it's recommended not to plant these two types of crops together is mostly because they are both heavy feeders. Because they're heavy feeders, if you are not on top of your fertilizer game, then it's very easy to have the nutrients depleted in the soil, and then neither of these crops can thrive. But if you are very consistent with your fertilizer regimen, you don't have to worry about these plants being planted next to each other. Now, other crops that you should avoid planting with cucumbers include sage, which actually inhibits the growth of cucumbers. Also, other cucurbits, mostly because they attract similar crops. So you can just overdo the companion planting of these crops together or try to plant them in different spaces. Another reason why you may want to avoid planting cucurbits next to each other is if you are considering saving seeds. So planting these plants together this year won't affect your harvest, but the seeds that are saved, if by some chance there was any cross-pollination that happened, the subsequent seeds, so what you plant this year and you get in your garden next year, could be something that doesn't taste that great. But this doesn't mean that you shouldn't, and you shouldn't save the seeds. Definitely try it, but if it tastes a little funny, maybe don't eat this next season's crops. As far as tomatoes go, crops that you don't want to plant near tomatoes are typically considered the nightshades and brassicas. Brassicas because often these crops are also heavy feeders, and so you don't want them depleting the nutrients in your soil. And as far as nightshades go, they often have a lot of the similar pests. So you either work on your companion planting pest control plan or separate them out by a little bit so that you don't have to worry about those pests, any pest infestation, riddling all of the crops in that particular family. And as always, if you have any questions about companion planting or gardening in general for beginners, indoor gardeners, or small space gardeners, drop a comment and I will be sure to get right back to you.